What's going on, everyone? Dare here, and welcome back to another day of Marvel Snap. It is that time of the month where we get the opportunity to go through all the spotlight caches in the coming month and talking about the ones that I personally am going to be trying to get either with tokens or with keys or whatever. But before we actually hop on into the spotlight caches, I do think we need to look back at October because I think October was a fantastic month for the game. We saw the release of High Voltage, which I personally loved. I thought that was a fantastic mode. If anything, it just kind of reinforced my opinion that we need something a little bit more casual. Conquest doesn't really do that, and sometimes you don't want to hop into ladder, especially if you haven't hit infinite yet that month and you really were trying to go for it. It doesn't really give you a chance just to hop in and do alliance missions or do your dailies. And honestly, we really just kind of need that casual mode, whether it's high voltage all the time or not, or we just honestly just need a casual mode just to hop in and play. I think that should be something great for the game. Let me know what your thoughts on high voltage was. Did you really enjoy it? Do you think it needs to be permanent? And then the other big thing that I kind of want to talk about was we also had the release of the Collector's Vault. I think the Collector's Vault was a fantastic addition. I personally did not have any cards in it that I wanted to get. I think I don't like that aspect of it. It is, once again, it's going to be the same problem with the variants in the shop, is it's RNG. It's also limited time, so it's going to be coming and going, and there's just a small limited amount of cards in it. They're just kind of like, okay, I'm probably never going to see anything that I want in this. But it is what it is. Let me know what your thoughts on the Collector's Vault. I do like the idea of them bringing back cards and be like, okay, they're actually timed exclusives. They're not complete exclusives. Do really enjoy that. I just do not know how I feel about the Collector's Vault yet. But either way, was a great month. Really excited for the things that we have coming in store. It is a little bit of a concern to me that we do not have data mines on what the spotlight caches for December are yet. We do have the bundles for November, but we have no idea. We don't know what's coming in December. That is concerning. I'm wondering, actually, it's not even wondering. I'm probably pretty confident that it has to do with the series drop at this point. I know everyone talked about maybe it has to do with the Rivals release, or maybe there's this and that, but I really am starting to think that it has to do with the series drop. And unfortunately, we're not going to have another patch until like November 14th, something like that. So we're still like 3 weeks out from possibly having any idea at all. So that is concerning that we won't even have an idea what the spotlight caches for December look like until we're like 2 weeks out. So is what it is. All right, let's hop in there. Let's look at the state of my collection, and then we'll actually go and look at the spotlight caches for the month. Okay, and the state of my collection is I am currently sitting at collection level 4,821. I am still missing 8, believe it or not, 8 Series 3 cards. I cannot wait. I'm this close. I am this freaking close to being Series 3 complete, and I can't wait for that. I mean, the other downside of that is once I'm Series 3 complete, I mean, I'm not going to be getting a whole lot of new cards except, you know, once or twice a month on the spotlight caches, but that is fine. That is okay. Because I will finally have all the Series 3 cards, and I'm really excited for that. I'm also sitting on 9 spotlight keys. Toxin sitting there staring me in the face right now is kind of, it's hard for me because I know that everyone considers Toxin to be the best card this month. But like I've said multiple times in my previous videos, I don't have any of the cards to make him good. I just don't. I don't have, you know, I don't have Hitmonkey. I don't have Sage. I don't have any of the heavy hitters and bounce. So it's really hard, but I'm going to pass. I'm going to save my keys, mainly because we, once again, have no idea what's coming in December. So I would like to have a little bit of a stockpile built up just in case something's coming in December that I'm like, I need that. But I do have, so I've got 9 keys. I'm hoping, you know, I should be getting 3 or 4 more throughout November. I'll be talking about what ones I'm going to be spending my keys on here in a little bit, but I am good for November for the weeks that I do want to pull on. So that is good for me. I also am weirdly sitting on 12,000 tokens. So I've got the opportunity to get 2 Series 5 cards. I'm just stuck in indecision paralysis if I don't know who to get. There are some big bads that I still kind of need. Airshim. I mean, I know I need to add Airshim to my collection, but also I'm like, how often am I going to play Airshim? I don't know. What is the other big bads that I'm missing? I still need Galactus. I still need High Evo. Yeah, there's a lot of archetype defining cards that I'm still missing. The other side is that I really want Sage. I know that Sage is a really strong card in certain decks, and a lot of them are the ones that I like to play. So I really would like Sage. And there's also another card in the Spotlight Caches next month that I'm just highly considering using my tokens on. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Honestly, I'm probably just going to be stuck in analysis paralysis. And next time I do this video, I'm going to be sitting at 15,000. So it is what it is. But, you know, eventually I'm probably going to come across a card in the shop and it's going to fit into a deck that I need it for and be like, done. I'm going to pull the trigger randomly like I do. And then I'm either going to regret it or I'm going to love it. But either way, that is the state of my collection. I cannot wait to be Series 3 complete. I have enough resources right now to kind of get all the cards that I want in November. And I'm kind of really excited also because I should have a little bit more to possibly have some saved up for December. But let's get in there and let's start looking at the November weeks. Okay, we've got week 1. As always, it does technically tiptoe into November, but we've got October 29th through November 5th. We got Anti-Venom, Ghost Spider, and Supergiant. Anti-Venom is a 4/7 on reveal. Set the cost and power of your deck's top card to 0. By the time this video comes out, see, I'm recording it before this week actually pops off. We'll probably have a much better idea of how good this card is. I do not like this week at all. I may end up eating crow. I'm really concerned about the validity of Anti-Venom. I'm sure there's going to be something silly and wacky that makes him busted. It's the one that everyone is going to be doubting and then turns out to be an absolutely just super power of a card. But for me, I don't see it. I really don't, especially at 4 power. For me, every time we have a new card that comes out in 4 power, everyone's like, oh man, but think of all the interactions, and it just ends up being super clunky. So, I mean, there is a lot of things good that could come with Anti-Venom. I mean, think about a 0/0 Onslaught or 0/0 Iron Man that you could play for free. That is, you know, that's really tempting. But I mean, who knows? Who knows what Anti-Venom is going to turn out? I also think that Ghost Spider and Supergiant are very weak pairings with him, and that's probably why I'm also thinking like maybe something happened in testing that he's super strong, because Supergiant and Ghost Spiders are super weak inclusions with him. I think that Ghost Spider is a perfect candidate to probably be dropping to Series 3. And then Supergiant, I actually personally own Supergiant, and I don't know if I've ever actually used her. Actually, I know I haven't. I know I have never used Supergiant. So, and I know I've heard there are decks out there that kind of utilize her. I think there's one in High Infinite that uses Daredevil as well, but I don't see it. I will not be pulling on this week. I can't even imagine that Anti-Venom would be so good that I would even want to, because like I said, I already have Supergiant. If I got her Spotlight variant, oh god, I'd be so disappointed. And I really don't want to waste keys on Ghost Spider. It is what it is. Possibly if I have the tokens and it's like, oh my god, everyone has to get this card, it's so good, I could possibly get them with tokens. But for right now, I'm gonna be passing pretty hard on this week and saving my resources. On to week 2. Okay, November 5th through November 12th. We've got a powerhouse week this week. We've got Frigga, Copycat, and Red Guardian. Okay, first of all, let's talk about Copycat and Red Guardian. Copycat in herself, to me, is the game's best filler card. If you just have an open slot and you don't know what to put it into it, Copycat's your answer. I absolutely love Copycat. She's probably, even after they slightly nerfed her and changed her that she doesn't steal the text anymore, I still think that she is one of the best cards in the game to just slot in to whatever you have. It's really good if you're playing Destroy and you get a null, or I mean, there's just so many different ways that you can steal things from your opponent that makes her really freaking good. I mean, if you get a 3/5 Iron Man or a 3/5 Onslaught, or there's so many things that you can get that she's just such a really fun card to have. Really like Copycat. And then I don't even think I need to say how good Red Guardian is. Red Guardian is one of the best tech cards in the game. I really enjoy him. I mean, I've made an entire Silver Surfer video where all I did was say how him and Rogue shut down discard for me as an entire opponent. I really like Red Guardian. I think also I'm so high on these cards because no surprise to most of you, I play a lot of Silver Surfer. These cards go directly in my Silver Surfer deck every freaking time. I love these cards. They're so good. It is unfortunate that I'm not going to pull these this week because I do already have both of them. Now let's talk about Frigga. Frigga is a 3/3 on reveal Add a copy of the last card you played to your hand if able. I hope she's good. I do. I really hope she's good. Like I just said, love Silver Surfer. I mean, to me, you could play down Silver Surfer on turn 3, hit Frigga on turn 4, get another Silver Surfer in hand. I mean, that's probably even a weak play, but there's so many options that she could be really, really good. I mean, also, I mean, even like in something like this card would be really good with your targeted cards that you want to hold on to. I mean, think about it. On turn 3, you could play down Lady Sif to hit your APOC. Turn 4, you play down Frigga, get another Lady Sif, and you play Blade with it. So, I mean, I think that she has a lot of utility. I am worried she's going to be a little bit slow. Being a 3 cost make things kind of awkward a little bit, just because at 3 cost, you want to play her on curve. You're more than likely going to have to play her on turn 4, because I don't think there's a lot of 2 costs that you want to copy. I could be wrong with that. I mean, White Widow would have been gross, but she's not really being played a whole lot anymore. I mean, you still do see her, but not as prevalent as she used to be. I don't necessarily think you want to fill your hands with Kate Bishop arrows as well. So I don't know. Could be really, really interesting. Also, I mean, she could be maybe it's a turn 5 play and you're copying turn 4s. I'm just worried she's a little bit too expensive for the things that I'm thinking about doing with her. But once again, I think she'd work great in a Silver Surfer deck. You could copy pretty much whatever you wanted in that deck, and she also would be buffed up by Silver Surfer. So I'm really hopeful that she's going to be a strong card. However, I would have to token her. This is the card that I'm potentially thinking about using my tokens on, and even with that, I may wait. I don't think this is going to be a card that you're going to see a video from me on Wednesday morning. This is probably going to be a Friday or Monday after I kind of see what the reaction is, mainly because I put a little more value to tokens than I do keys, and I don't think I'm just going to shoot from the hip on this one. I probably will kind of wait and see what the reaction to her is. And if she does seem really good, I'll probably pick her up with tokens and then probably play the crap out of her. Okay, on a week 3, we've got November 12th through November 19th. We've got Malekith, Thena, and Valentina. Let's start with Valentina because it's the card that I really do not know hardly a whole lot about. But she's a 2/3 on reveal. Add a random 6 cost card to your hand. Give it -2 cost and -3. I don't know if I've ever seen this card actually played. Outside of Arishem, and I think it was created by Arishem. I imagine she probably saw a lot of play in Loki, possibly. I'm not 100% sure because, yeah, I don't ever see this card. I imagine she honestly could be kind of good because, I mean, if you're thinking about it, she's a 2-turn play. She's making a random 6 cost, -2 to play on turn 4. I mean, there's an RNG-ness that could be good, but I don't know anything about Valentina. She is definitely not the one that I'm chasing after for this week. That's gonna be Thena. I want this card. I've been talking about how I want this card. For those that don't know, Thena's 2/0 after each turn, +3 power if you played exactly 2 cards. I love the mid-range package. I love Kitty. I love Hope Summers. I just picked up Elsa, and I can't wait to just take that package and to throw it into a bunch of different decks to try out. Thena is super strong. I love her playstyle. She's really good. I've been chasing after this card for so long. I'm so glad that she's finally showing up again inside the spotlight caches. I think the more annoying thing is that I was playing when she came out, and I was too early on to actually spend keys on her. So that was kind of a bummer because I started in the Blink season, and then the Gilgamesh one was immediately after that, and I did not have the keys. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have chased after anyway because I had no idea what I was doing at that point in time. Still don't, but excited, really excited. We're definitely going to go in on Thena. And then Malekith is kind of interesting. He's a 4/6. Add a 1, 2, or 3 cost card from your deck here. It reveals at the end of the game. I kind of talked to about him a little bit in the data mine. One comment brought up a very interesting interaction, which I really liked, and it was discard. So you play him out there, and you hoping that you get one of your discards pulled out there. You know, maybe it's Blade, maybe it's Colleen, maybe it's Lady Sif. And then at the end of the game, after you Modok and clear your deck or clear your hand and hopefully have APOC in your hand still, it'll just be one more trigger to hit APOC before the end of the game, and then Dracula gets one more, +4 to his power. So I really, really like that interaction. That seemed pretty cool. More than likely, I'm going to end up with this card because I had some pretty decent luck with Spotlight Caches this month, which means I'm going to be going all in. Thien is going to be my last card. She's going to be the last card that I draw this week, just because things have to even out a little bit. So I will be probably playing around with Malekith a little bit, but I'm going all in on this week, specifically for Thena. I'm really, really excited for this week. All right, let's move on to week 4. We've got November 19th through November 26th. We're looking at Fenris Wolf, Annihilus, and Werewolf by Night. And I don't know what they were thinking, but this should have been Halloween week. This should have been the Spotlight Caches for a Halloween. I don't know why. The first thing that I saw was like, this should have been Halloween. It just fits Halloween so perfectly, but instead we're getting it over Thanksgiving. So just to start it off, Werewolf by Night is a really, really cool bounce card. It's a 3/2. After you play a card, move there to gain +2 if it has an on reveal. I think that he has one of the coolest and most unique mechanics in the game. It is honestly, even when I'm playing against it, really cool to see him just bouncing around the boards as the opponent's playing the cards. This kind of goes back to what I talked about earlier. I don't have a lot of bounce cards. I know that you don't need him to play bounce, but I also know that the decks that he is in, he's a powerhouse. Really, really strong card. If you like bounce, I think he's a good card to have. I think this is going to be one of the ones, if I end up pulling him, I'm going to regret not having Toxin. Kind of talked about that earlier of there's going to be something that comes along and I regret not picking up Toxin, and it's probably going to be this guy. Okay, next card on it is the man, the myth, the legend, Annihilus. He is the cards you need to play junk. You know, when you see Sentry being popped down, more than likely Annihilus is following sometime soon. He is a 5/6. On reveal, your cards with power below 0 switch sides. Destroy those that can't. It really irks me sometimes. You know, hold on, let me just pop up my salt box here. That destroy those that can't really irks me, because if I counterplay his Sentry, it really annoys me that he's not punished for it. It just does. If he's got a -8, if he plops down Sentry and it's -8, and I can somehow clog up my right lane, he has 0 punishment for it as soon as he plays Annihilus. You know what? Sometimes that does annoy me slightly, but either way, if you like junk, this is the card that you need. I mean, if you're someone that's been playing a lot of Clog, you probably will also like junk, because I actually did hear there is a difference in those two archetypes, and junk, Annihilus is the card that you need to play junk. So he is a very, very interesting card. And honestly, if Annihilus, I'm going to hate this week, because if Annihilus becomes a powerhouse again, like I've heard he has been in the past, I know I'm going to hate that meta. But he's a very cool, very interesting card. And then we got Fenris Wolf. Fenris Wolf is a 2/3, activate, resurrect the highest power discarded or destroyed enemy card to your side of this location. I can't, like, I feel like he's gonna be busted. He's gonna be so freaking good. Like, he just is. The fact that he's also activate. I mean, throw him down on turn 2. You can wait until, I don't know, even turn 6. Pop down Shang-Chi, then activate it, hoping you hit something. Like, oh god, he's gonna be so good. So good. So I don't know. I mean, I'm chasing after Fenris Wolf. That's why I'm saying that, you know, when I pick up Werewolf by Night, I'm gonna be disappointed that I don't have Toxin. But yeah, I think he's gonna be such a unique card. It's gonna be very, very interesting. I do. And I mean, the other thing is that I specifically resurrect the highest power card you discarded or destroyed. I mean, think about Gambit. I mean, if you throw, I mean, the wacky waveable, the silly Gambit Wong deck, I mean, you throw him out there, he kills 3 cards, you resurrect the highest powered one back. It's not, you don't have a chance to bring back a rock. You're gonna bring back something significant, hopefully. So, yeah, I think he's gonna be really good. I do. I really, really do. And even on that, I mean, with Killmonger, if you Killmonger and you kill Hood's Demon, I mean, you bring back a 1/6. All of a sudden, I mean, he's a 2/9. Really strong card. Really excited for Fenris. So we'll see. We'll absolutely see how good he actually is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Fenris, he's just gonna be bad. But I don't see him being bad. I don't see him being bad. I think he's gonna be a very interesting card. he's going to be a nice pairing with a lot of, with what, Sarah Control. I mean, Sarah Control would be a fantastic deck to throw this into with like Shang or Killmonger or whatever. So really, really excited for Fenris Wolf. Okay, now we're on the last week. We're looking at November 26th to December 3rd. We've got Gorr the Godslayer, Havoc, and Legion. Just everyone knows Legion. This godforsaken card that killed Storm. 5/7 on reveal, replace each other location with this one. I mean, it's such a strong card, it's such a troll card. I mean, it really is. Legion's probably growing up there with probably one of my least favorite cards to play against, just because he's so trolly. And honestly, Legion shenanigans really honestly also puts a stop to Magic very easily. I mean, he's a hard counter to any deck that requires Magic. So I mean, I think he's a must-have in any collection. Now that the Storm War Machine Legion combo is shut down, I think he's probably lost a little bit of value, but I don't think so. I still think that he is a really strong tech card that you could probably run in anything, just because, I mean, he does Legion things. So Havoc is a 2/0. After each turn, you lose 1 max energy, and this gains +4 power. I don't have a lot of experience with Havoc. I've had him used against me quite a bit. And he does, I mean, in the decks that he's in, he does feel super strong. And I actually do kind of like that he's seen some more relevancy here recently. I think, is he ran a bounce? There's a certain deck, maybe it's the Agent Venom one. There's a certain deck that I've seen him a lot in recently, and it may be the Agent Venom, maybe it's not bounce. But yeah, he's a very interesting card. He's Series 4. I don't have a lot to say about Havoc because, I mean, I really have only recently even come across him. I don't have him myself, but he can be strong in the decks that do utilize him. And then we have Gorr, which I think I said I'm wrong earlier. It's Gorr the God Butcher. Ongoing +2 power for each on-reveal card in play. God, I can't decide on that. I think he's going to be strong. I do. I think he's going to be strong. So, and I started thinking about this, and I actually had to cut out the initial part because I realized it's not your opponent or just you, it's both. So let's say that you're playing a bounce deck that they've got, let's say 6. They've got 6 on reveals out there. Maybe it's a Werewolf by Night deck and they've got like 8, but let's say 6 for this instance. So they've got 6 on reveal cards out there. That's going to be +12. So he's already a 6/11. And then your side of the board, you're going to want to have all on reveal cards with this. Like, you're going to build the deck with Gorr in mind. So let's say you have 6. So, oh, I mean, he's a 6/23. God, is that right? He is ongoing though. I mean, that's an easy rogue target, but he is 6. So you'd have to snipe that. You'd have to see it coming. Yeah, I think he does. He does have the potential to be really freaking strong. Especially in a current meta that sees a lot of bounce and move. We do I mean, I don't know. It kind of goes both ways. We do have a lot of ongoing. Yeah, I think he's going to be strong. I do. I think he's going to be really big. Depending on what the meta looks like. But either way, I'm not going on this week. I don't care about Havoc. I don't really care about Legion. And that's the other thing. He's paired with 2 Series 4s. So, I mean, I feel like he's going to be, I'm trying to think, was it Airshim? I think Airshim had just awful partners in his Spotlight Cache because they knew he was going to be super strong. And I think Gorr maybe be the same way. Gorr could be really, really big, depending on what the meta looks like. Because if it's an on-reveal meta, like, and you also have a lot of on-reveal cards in your hand, I mean, Gorr could be really, really big. So yeah, I mean, throw him into a junk deck with a Nihilist and Werewolf by Night. That'd be weird, but who knows? Who knows? Either way, we'll see. All right, let's run it back. Let's talk through what my actual plans are. I know I kind of rambled a lot there, but I think I stated most of the time what I was gonna do. But we got week 1, October 29th through November 5th. It is a hard pass. This one is a hard pass for me. Unfortunately, I'm not taking the gamble Anti-Venom, and the other 2 cards do not attract me in any way. Week 2, we got November 5th through November 12th. Is a God, unfortunate. Actually, it's not unfortunate. I've got Copycat and Red Guardian, so unfortunately, I'm not pulling on this week. I'm not gonna chase Frigga with keys when I already have the other 2 cards. I like the mentality of don't chase the spotlight cache if you have at least 2 of the cards. So not going to be chasing this. I think that it is a fantastic week for anyone that does not. I do. I think Copycat and Red Guardian are both great cards for anyone that does not have them. So I would highly suggest taking a good look at this week if you do not have those cards. Week 3, November 12th through November 19th, we've got Malekith, Thena, and Valentina going hard. One Thena. That's like if I go in, I pull Thena on my first one, probably gonna back out, probably gonna save my keys. But I mean, more than likely, I'm expecting to get probably Valentina and Malekith, knowing my luck. Okay, then we've got week 4 with November 19th through November 26th. This is the Fenris and Nihilus Werewolf by Night week. I'm going hard on this week, and I mean, unfortunately, I don't really care a whole lot about a Nihilus or Werewolf by Night, but I do think that Fenris Wolf is going to be strong. I do. I think he's going to be a really strong card. He's something that I want to add into my collection, so I'm fully expecting to once again probably get all those cards as well. So I've got 8 keys down now, depending on what my luck looks like. And then finally, week 5, we've got November 26th through December 3rd. We're looking at Gore, Havoc, and Legion. And I'm going to be passing, unfortunately. I think Gore, I'm team Gore now. I do think Gore is going to be strong, but I'm not going to use keys on Havoc or Legion, especially with a pending series drop. Because I don't know, I can't imagine them dropping Legion, but I can see Havoc dropping down. But then again, I don't know how old Havoc is. Maybe Havoc is not open for a series drop, but just in case, I'm hoping this series drop is a big one. Since we've only had one since I started playing this game. So I'm really hoping that this is a really big series drop, and that's also why they're not doing data downloads and stuff like that, just to keep it a secret on how many cards they're actually dropping down. Yeah, that's it. That's the Spotlight Caches for November. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are there cards in there that you think, nope, sorry, you're an idiot? That is a card that you have to have. Let me know down in the comments. I am always open to hear when I'm probably wrong about my opinion on a card. So I always love the dialogue down in the comments. So yeah, let me know. I do have some other things coming up. I think I'm going to be trying out the closed beta for the card game Bazaar. I'll probably be putting out a video on that one pretty quickly here, probably this week. So keep an eye out for that if you have any interest in that. It's very interesting. It is not a normal card game. I think it kind of is a mix between an auto battler and a digital card game. So I'm really interested to see what that likes. And we have the pending launch of the Pokemon Pocket Live. So should be coming out here this week as well. So we got a lot of big things coming outside of Marvel Snap that I'll probably be just dabbling in the content of to see if anyone has any interest. So if you want to see either of those things, let me know down in the comments. I've kind of been holding off on Pokemon until the global release because the game itself kind of seems a little light right now. And I was like, well, there's not a whole lot that I can add that anyone else hasn't already made. So really excited about that. A lot of really big things coming. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of my content. I really appreciate and love everyone for your support, and I will see you guys all in the next one. See you later.